All right, hey, it's Rob, and ELO is on tour again. The Over and Out tour. Apparently, this is at your last chance to go see the fabulous ELO. But what are you really seeing? Well, I saw them. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was 4 or 5 years ago now, and it's a cool production. They've got lasers and lots of graphics, and it's a big widescreen, stage with multiple musicians. I don't know how many people are on that stage. There are 7, 8 people, background singers, string section, the whole deal. But as far as ELO, it's just Jeff Lynne. That's it. There are no other members of ELO currently playing in the band. Richard Tandy, the keyboard player, I guess is in ill health. And he had been hanging in there with them for a while, but I don't think he's played with them since 2016 or something or other I saw. And many of the members of ELO have passed away already, unfortunately. And we're getting to that age. I mean, they've been a band since the 70s, so it's going to happen. But the remaining members that are around are currently not touring with ELO. So it's a bunch of, background singers and, musicians brought in just for the tour, or maybe people he's played with on records as well. I'm not sure exactly, but you get, 2 or 3 guitar players and a bass player and a couple of keyboard players and, people doing background vocals, of course. ELO had a lot of those great background vocals. And then, of course, you got to replicate the strings, the cello, that kind of stuff. So I don't remember exactly how many people, but there's a bunch of people out there. And then you got Jeff Lynne. Now, I'm not ragging on Jeff Lynne. He's an amazing songwriter. He is an important part of rock history as we know it, as far as just ELO and the songs and the records, but of course his production work with Tom Petty and, put together the remaining Beatles songs. And I think he even had a part, the stuff he did in the 90s probably contributed to the last Beatles song that recently came out. And just, super talented guy, amazing songwriter. I love, so many ELO songs, the production, the way they sound, the songs themselves. I even, at one point, almost ran away from home over ELO because I wanted to see that Out of the Blue tour with the spaceship so bad. Even though Jeff Lynne himself said he hated touring and especially hated coming out of a spaceship. It was just the last thing he wanted to do. He just wanted to be back in the studio. And I was just, so upset when I was a kid that my folks just had no interest in taking me to go see ELO and their spaceship that I walked out the door and made it a few houses down the block and decided, all right, well, this is stupid. Like, I want to go to a concert with my parents anyway. But this is kind of the problem, is that, Jeff Lynne has never really been a dynamic performer. And even back in the day, he's not very animated. He's not going to be up there telling you any funny stories or really relating to the crowd at all. He's just kind of there to deliver the songs. I mean, vocally, he sounds all right. The ELO songs are not difficult songs to sing, and he kind of sings them in a choppy and, just kind of perfunctory way. At this point now, again, I don't really want to get into, or be accused of ragging on him. He's in his mid-70s or maybe heading towards his late 70s now. I know, obviously, it ain't easy. I'm getting up there too, and, I don't know how well I do, performing every night like that, like he does. But, when you watch him up there, he's kind of got his hands on the guitar a little, but I don't think you're really hearing anything he's doing. It's kind of more of like a comfort to him. He's, is not a guy that wants to stand up there and sing, without the guitar. I mean, it's a whole different feeling when you can stand there and you have like the guitar between you and the audience, rather than just, you up there alone with no prop, no nothing. So the guitar gives you something to do. And I think he plays a little bit. He'll play the intro to Do Ya or whatever. But, other than that, I think they turn his guitar way down or probably off. And I see a lot of times he's just not even playing a progression. He'll start it and then stop, or he'll just, be in the wrong place on the neck for the song or whatever. So it's kind of just there, like I said, hanging off his neck because it makes him feel more comfortable versus, adding anything musically really to the concert. And so it's really fun to hear those songs live, and the production is great. Like I said, all the effects and the smoke and the lasers and all that cool stuff. But then right in the middle of it, you have Jeff Lynne, and, he's just boring. I mean, there's no way around it. He's not a dynamic performer. He never enjoyed it in his heyday. He's there because you can make a lot of money touring, and he is making a lot of money. I mean, I see people complaining $300-400 to go see ELO, and it is a lot of money. And like I said, there's nobody else left in the band. It's just Jeff Lynne, and Jeff Lynne is just pretty much standing up there and faking most of the way through, playing guitar and singing in a very basic and just minimal way. Phrasing and that kind of stuff is kind of out of time, and dropping lines here and there and whatever. Again, I don't want to really be critical. The guy is almost or approaching his 80s, and it can't be easy. There are a lot of lines and songs that he's got I think a guy who plays guitar and also will sing and cover like half of these verses in some of the songs and whatever, or he'll give it to one of the female vocalists. So clearly there are some parts that he just can't handle singing anymore, or it's just too much for him and he needs a break or whatever. So they'll kind of go back and forth. You get a little bit of Jeff and then a little bit of that guy or the female singer. But whatever. I mean, if you haven't ever seen them, or it's been many years or whatever, it's a cool show. It's fun. I enjoyed going. Do I feel like I need to go again and spend $400 because I saw him 3 or 4 years ago? No, I don't. He's fabulous. He's an amazing guy. I love the records. I love how they sound and the songs and all that kind of stuff. It is just a rock solid part of my childhood. Matter of fact, I'm just remembering this point now, but the first music I ever bought was not a record, but an 8-track tape, and it was ELO's Out of the Blue. So the first record I really bought with my own money, where I went to the store and said, I want this. I remember it was $10 because it's a double 8-track tape. 8-track tapes were usually around $5-6, so there you go. It's $10 for the double. But just a great record. A lot of great songs on that record, and so many of the others. Of course, that one's my favorite just because that's my first record I ever bought. But yeah, so, go check them out if, you haven't in a while or ever. But, you can expect a cool show, and, the musicians, of course, are top-notch, and, they sound great. But as far as the central figure, Jeff Lynne, he's just kind of there, He'll say, how you doing? And he'll say, this is the next song, and he'll say good night, and that's about it. That's what you're going to get. And hey, maybe that's, better than we can expect, at this point. And of course, lots of bands have lost their leaders, or, they're not performing anymore, or they're not alive anymore. So we should be thankful that he's still there. He's able to stand up there and do something, and he's actually standing. We've got a few guys now who are sitting in chairs. So he's hanging in there, I guess. And yeah, so on balance, I'd say go check it out if it's something you haven't seen before. And let me know what you think if you go check them out. They're here in Atlanta. I had a friend ask me to go, and I don't think I'm going to bother. But because I did just see them recently, it's going to be the same thing. Still playing 40, 50-year-old songs, whatever. But yeah, just kind of know what to expect. It's not Bob Dylan level, annoying, where Dylan is hiding off in a corner behind the piano and you don't even see him, or he's playing songs and, 3 minutes into it, you finally figure out what song it is. So no, you're going to get the pretty much straight ahead studio album versions of all the hits, and there are so many of them. We don't have bands like ELO anymore, where you can rattle off 15 or 20 different songs that were on the charts and that were on the radio and that you're familiar with, and you've heard dozens and dozens and maybe hundreds of times. But we just don't have that kind of talent anymore, or that kind of exposure to these bands, where they're going to have these long careers. So we should be thankful, like I said, that he's even up there doing it. But, temper your expectations a little bit. He's just kind of up there, and he's going to sing the songs, but, he's just maybe doing the best he can or whatever. He's not adding all that much, although, of course, he is singing the songs, and he's the guy who wrote them and everything. But the excitement is more what's happening around him than to actually watch his performance or listen to him sing. But that's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here, and talk to you later. Bye.